Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Tumbler tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you a super easy technique for creating a really fun tumbler design. This is a very beginner friendly design, so tumbler makers of all levels can recreate this. So what we're going to do is a double vinyl wrap here. So I've got a 32-ounce plump tumbler from the Tipsy Magnolia, and I'm going to start by wrapping it with this colorful pearl vinyl from TECKWRAP Craft. Now if you watch my channel regularly, you would know that I am obsessed with this colorful pearl vinyl. It is so beautiful and it keeps that pearly finish even under epoxy. So if you don't have it or if you haven't tried it, I will link it down below. You can just get it on Amazon. There's a ton of fun colors and it's just really beautiful. So I'm going to use the white here because we're going to layer some transparent vinyl over this, and it's going to give that transparent vinyl a little bit of a nice shimmery sheen to it, So once I've wrapped it around the tumbler, I'm going to go around and cut off all of the excess from the top and bottom. For the bottom rim of the cup, because this is kind of a more sharp bottom, I'm going to use my cup edging tool from CAMIPAIGE Boutique to give that a really nice clean finish down there. The process for wrapping these two sheets of vinyl around the tumbler is exactly the same. So you'll do the same process with your white vinyl that you do with your pattern vinyl. So to start out, I'm going to trim off this bottom edge here. I don't really need it. I just don't want it to get in my way. And then I'm going to take my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim off all of the white edges from our vinyl. I want to make sure also that all of my edges are straight. So once I've got my vinyl piece cut down, I'm going to remove a little bit of the backing. Usually this is about 1 to 2 inches of the backing, and I want to expose this little sliver of adhesive so that I can put my vinyl in place, keep it exactly where I want it, but not remove the backing from the entire sheet of vinyl. So what I'm going to do here is use that straight edge that I cut with my edge trimmer on that white vinyl, and I'm going to use that as my guide for placing this vinyl down straight. So I'm lining the bottom edges up, essentially making sure everything is straight. And then I'm going to use the felt edge of my vinyl scraping tool. I will have one that is similar to the one I'm using linked down below in the description box for you. You can get that on Amazon as well. And I'm just going to push the vinyl onto the tumbler, and as I do that, the backing will get pushed away as well. This really helps prevent bubbles and creases and all of that stuff that can come with putting vinyl onto tumblers. This is my favorite way to apply pattern vinyl to cups. One thing that I should have done that I didn't do was line up my seams. Now, it's usually a 50-50 on whether or not I remember to do that, but take the extra time and make sure that you line up your seams so that you only have seams in your vinyl in one place. In the end, on this design, it really didn't matter. You really can't see that seam with the white vinyl underneath, but I would prefer to have all my seams in one place. So once I've done that, I'm going to cut off the excess vinyl from the top, and you can see we've got that really nice shimmery finish underneath that transparent vinyl. It's kind of like putting it over glitter, just a little bit more subtle. Sometimes when you have transparent vinyl and you put it over glitter, a lot of the dimension and color and depth goes away when you use the transparent vinyl. So putting it over this white shimmery vinyl still gives you a little bit of that glittery shimmery touch. You just don't have the loss of color and all of that stuff that you might have when you put it over glitter. So now that we've got our vinyl on our tumbler, we can move down to finishing the bottom. We have not put any epoxy on our tumbler yet. We're just going to go right in over the vinyl. We're going to tape off that bottom edge of the tumbler so that we can paint and glitter the remaining stainless steel part. So what I'm going to do is mix up a little bit of acrylic paint and the thick glitter glue from Adhesive Apothecary, and I'm going to paint the bottom of my cup with this mixture, and then we can go right in with our glitter. The glitter I'm using here is Matse from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's a fine cut copper color, really pretty, and goes with the boho-y vibes that we've got going on the cup already. So once that's done, I'm going to remove my tape, let it sit and dry for about 30 minutes, and then I did seal that section of glitter with the CRYSTALAC glitter glue. I let that dry for 2 hours, and now I'm going to go in with my first 2 coats of epoxy. As always, I'm using my Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure Epoxy here, and for each of my coats I'm using about 20 milliliters of the epoxy. We don't need to use a ton on this design because we only have glitter on the bottom. Everything else should be really super smooth after 1 coat. I just did 2 coats to make sure that we protect the glitter. So once those 2 coats are cured, I'm going to go in and do all of my sanding. For this, I'm just using a sanding block because there's not a ton of sanding that we need to do. Again, the cup should be pretty smooth. So I'm just using my 80 grit sanding block here. I'm going to sand down the bottom glittered section and then sand down the top rim of the tumbler really well also. Once I'm done sanding, I'm going to clean the entire cup with my rubbing alcohol, and then we can go right into adding all of our vinyl and our decal. So starting off at the bottom, I'm going to stripe out this section where the glitter and our pattern vinyl meet. I'm using just plain black regular vinyl here, and I cut this stripe out at 0.10 inches in width, and I'm just going to wrap it all the way around the tumbler. For this design, we're going to make the decal as big as we possibly can. So I measured the height of my tumbler and then made the decal just a little bit smaller than the total height of the cup. So this is going to go down the whole side of the tumbler. We've got a double offset here. So as always, I'm going to layer my decal as I put it on the tumbler. Of course, if you want to, you can layer your decal beforehand. Totally up to you. It doesn't matter. It's just personal preference. By the way, the SVG that I used for this decal will be available on my website, and members of my Patreon group will get this file for free. So starting off with that first layer of the offset, I'm using the gold shimmer vinyl from TECKWRAP Craft. And then for the middle, I'm going to use my same plain black vinyl that I used for the stripe that we put on the bottom. And because this is so big, and I always just prefer to do my decals like this, I'm going to cut it up word by word and then place those one by one. I like to do this because it helps me get everything centered perfectly. I would rather work in as small of pieces as I possibly can, rather than messing the whole thing up and then having to cut the decal over again. Of course, you do not have to do it this way. If you want to put your whole decal down at once, you absolutely can. It's totally up to you, however you want to do your decal. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do it any certain way, okay? Except when you're putting clear vinyl over a sanded surface. Definitely don't do that. Anyway, I'm going to do the rose gold textured metallic vinyl for the top layer of my decal. Now you can see as I layer it over the black middle offset, that offset is really, really thin. I just wanted to add that to tie in the black that we've got going in the pattern vinyl that we used, and to give the rose gold a little bit more of a lift off the tumbler. It's kind of like a really thin shadow. So after I had my decal placed, I added my final 2 coats of epoxy, and we are all done. So as always, for my final coats, I'm using the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure Epoxy. I did 2 final coats. Each one was about 20 milliliters. And that's it. So here's the final tumbler design. That shimmery vinyl underneath the pattern vinyl is a little bit hard to see in my studio lighting, but once you get it outside or in regular light, you can definitely see that shimmer underneath. It just adds the perfect little hint of like glitter and the shimmery sheen. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. As always, let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. I upload brand new Tumbler tutorials every single week. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Hello friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I want to say a huge special thank you to my elite fam, my channel members, and my subscribers. You all make this channel possible, so thank you so much for being part of the fam. If you want more exclusive content from me, you can join my elite fam at patreon.com/elitefam. You can find my tumblers and digital files on my website, madebymalstudio.com. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at madebymal_studio. Here's another video for you to check out, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.